I've given this the night to dry out here, and as you can see, there's bumps, there are bubbles here. There's a draw line here, there's a draw line there, and the last time we went up and down on the second coat. So this is the final coat, and we're gonna go from right to left or horizontal. So again, we have a bunch of rough spots. You can either use a piece of sandpaper, or I just use my 4-inch blade here to generate the least amount of dust. So you just want to scrape away any of the bubbles. You scrape the whole surface so that it's smooth. There's the bubbles here. So this takes off the heads of them. There's a draw line here. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up my hawk here, and again I have just all-purpose joint compound here, and it's thinned out just a little bit with water. So this is the final skin here. Put up like that here, and I have my 12-inch trowel here. Now you can use a 14 or even a 16, but I'm going to use my 12. So I'm going to reorganize that like that there, give it a little shake, and go upside down. That takes it there. Come up here and go across with it. Okay, so you can see what's on here. Now, what I do next is I would just reload up here and start here and go down again. But if we want to take it slow, and if you can't do that, then I'll show you a technique so that you can get perfectly smooth skims and not have to worry about going back into it and messing it up here. So we just skimmed one thing there, okay? So I'll come across it, and I'll go down again. That borrows mud there, and I'll bring it back into the corner here and go down it there. Okay, now I'm trying to get the width so that it's pretty much the same across here. Okay, so we laid it all down there. We'll clean this up here. Now, what you can do too is you can feather off the top and the bottom with this thing here, but if you're not that good, use your 6-inch flexible blade here, and we'll press hard against the top. That's what comes off there, and then hard against the bottom. Comes off there, and I'll come there, and I'll do the side. Okay, so I'll put this down there. And now, with my clean trowel, we'll just come here and press and do one swipe across there. Okay, we'll clean that up there. Now, there's kind of a line here and a line there, and there's some bubbles and stuff like that. So, with this cleaned off again, we'll do one more swipe. You want to press hard, and that's just a little bit comes off there. So that whole area is skimmed now. We've feathered off the edges. We'll just let this dry. So we'll just let this dry. Now, my next skim will be like 8 inches to 10 inches lower than that. And we'll skim this area here. And then we'll just let that dry. And then what we'll do is we'll go back after these 2 areas dried, or 3 areas, and skim the middles. So I'm just trying to make sure that you get a smooth, perfectly even surface, because I know that it's hard to continue doing it without messing up the top part. So let me organize this here, give it a little shake. That loads up there. Come down here and go across with it. Still have some mud on here. We'll come back over here and see how it loads up like that. Okay, so now there's a lot here, so I'll come back over here and do one more. So that's going to take a lot of it off there. And now again, with my 6-inch blade, make sure it's clean. Taper off the top by pressing hard against the top and the bottom. Okay, so that takes care of your feathering. And now with the clean trowel, we're gonna come and do a swipe across it there. Okay, so now we have that's perfectly smooth and that is perfectly smooth, and there's a gap there, but we're just gonna after these dry, then we'll go in and fill in our gaps, and we'll do the same thing to feather off so we won't have any rough edges there. So put this down. Oh, it's up there. There. Take your taping knife, make sure it's cleaned off, feather off the top, comes off there, that side, and the bottom. Okay, and now with the clean trowel, come here and skim across tight. Okay, I'll do that one more time. Okay, so that area is perfectly smooth there. So we have 3 perfectly smooth areas, and again, I'm just going to continue to do what I did there, and we'll just let this dry out, and then once that's done, then we'll go back and just do exactly what I did there, but in between all these horizontal skims. So I'm just going to give this some time to dry out. I'm going to continue to go down with it, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so we've given this this about 2 hours to dry out here, and as you can see, I took my colored pencil and I drew a line above and below where I skimmed. So this is where I previously skimmed. This is where I skimmed. This is where I skimmed. This is where I skimmed, and this is where I skimmed down here. So these areas in the middle here, we're gonna skim these now. There's some holes down here. So what I'm gonna do is I put this down here, and once again grab my 4-inch blade here and just shave away any of the lines that are there from the previous coat. There's not much because we skimmed so tight and we feathered off those areas. Okay, so I'll put this down here. I have my all-purpose mud here. Load up about 4 scoops there. So once again, we're just going to be skimming these areas in between now to level those out. And again, this method will just be easier if you're not so efficient in skimming the whole wall as one. So we'll just do it in like sections here. So we'll just give that a little shake, loads up the middle there, and once again, I'm going to apply it right here. Okay, I'll clean this off here. Now, what you're going to find is you can actually just skim tight and it'll be fine. But if not, then you can use these to feather off the edges here. So I'm just going to skim tight here. After this, I'll put some in the corner here and go tight with it there. And that's what comes off there, and that's perfectly smooth. There's just like a slight edge there. We'll just let this dry, and we'll just sand those away there. So come here, load up the middle there, And now we're gonna hit this area here. And we'll just bring that into the corner there, come across with it again. Now either you can just skim tight, or again, you can use your 6-inch blade here to take away the edges there, corner, and down below. So with the clean trowel, come over here, and one swipe away from there. Okay, now there's a chunk in the mud there, so I'll do that swipe again. And that's what comes off there, and that's perfectly smooth there, and that filled in that area there. So I'll reorganize this here and load up there, and now we'll be hitting this area here. Work it into the corner, give it a little jiggle, and come across with it there. So it comes off there, and come down here. Work it into the corner, and come across there. That's perfectly smooth there. The bottom here, I'm not quite sure that you can see this, but just gonna skim this bottom part there. Across with it. That's gonna take care of that there. So I'm gonna put the air mover on that, and this should dry these areas here, and then we'll be ready to sand and then prime. So we'll be back in a bit.